can language learning apps make you fluent? How does my new language learning app Fluyo stack up against all the others? And will there be a great owl versus dolphin war? All that and more. So first up, if you're not aware, 3 weeks ago, I released my language learning app Fluyo on Kickstarter, and it blew up. We are at over $840,000, and we have 48 hours left until our Kickstarter campaign ends, and we're going for it. We're going for the big 1 mil, and I know we can hit it. I have no doubt. I know we can do it. So back the campaign before it ends if you want to get early access and all the other amazing Kickstarter exclusives that are on right now. Link in the description below. But seriously, I cannot thank you guys enough. However, that said, if you don't know Fluyo, Fluyo is like if Studio Ghibli, Pokemon, and World of Warcraft came together to create a baby, and that baby wanted to teach you a new language. Essentially, Fluyo's goal is to make language learning as fun as a video game. It's truly a language learning app like no other. It's got a ton of features, and hopefully, it's going to be the future of language learning. Now, I'm not making this video to say, oh, my app is better at certain things than this other app. Although, no promises. I'm mainly making it so you guys can see how Fluyo lines up against all the other language learning apps, what its strengths and weaknesses are, what you can expect from Fluyo, and what other resources can be best used to complement it. And of course, I also want to answer the question, can language learning apps make you fluent? So in the language learning world, there are a ton of different apps that serve a bunch of different purposes. Here is a quick rundown. You generally have these 4 different categories of language learning apps. The first and the most popular are the course-based apps. Now these apps are super popular. For example, you've got the 2 emperors of the sea. You got Duolingo and you got Babbel. They're like the most well-known of these kinds of apps. And this type of course app is very strong at introducing people to a language, helping them build beginner sentences, translate sentences, being able to recognize different phrases, and essentially they take the user through a guided path and up to generally a solid upper beginner level. And they tend to be quite well structured. The second kind of language learning app is what I call the vocab-centric or the vocab boosting app. These are apps like Memrise, Linguist, and Anki. Essentially, their goal is to boost your vocabulary, to help you learn new words super fast, or at least as fast as possible, have you review those words in an effective way, and essentially have you never ever forget those words. That is their goal. It's all about words. The third kind of language learning app is language exchange app. These are apps like HelloTalk or Tandem. They really just help you practice your speaking and texting with like real people. And while you're chatting with people, they have a bunch of different kind of features on their actual chat system. So for example, you're easily able to correct someone, or you're able to translate a message that they send with the touch of a button. The fourth and final category are audio-based apps, like Pimsleur or Language Transfer. These types of apps are typically great introductions to a language, and they generally get you confident with your speaking, they help improve your pronunciation, and they break down grammar. And they're just really easy to kind of get going with and even to finish because you can do them while multitasking. So those are the 4 categories. And then you've got Fluyo. Which category do we fit into? Well, you know, Fluyo is kind of like the young upstart, all right? We are kind of like the Avatar. Well, at least we're trying to be almost like the Avatar, the last airbender of language learning apps. We're trying to master all 4 elements, all 4 categories. But if I have to say, currently, the categories that we are the strongest at, I would probably have to go with number 1, vocab. We are an excellent vocab boosting app. We are going to help you learn words in the fastest way possible and help you remember those words in the most fun way possible, much more than any other vocab-centric app out there. Specifically because we have our journey mode and we have our flashcards, and we even have our mini games where you can practice and review words. The second category that I would say we're really good at is language exchange. We have groups, or we call them pods, where you can go and practice your language with other learners. You can receive corrections. You can instantly translate things. You can even tap on a word you don't know, translate it, and instantly add it to your flashcard deck. Vocab learning and our social features are our bread and butter. So with that said, what is Fluyo not the best at? What are our weak points? Well, currently we don't have much going on in terms of audio, like what Pimsleur or Language Transfer has. However, that's going to change with full support. That is the biggest thing that we're going to be focusing on post-Kickstarter. But yeah, we're going to be creating our own amazing audio courses that are interactive, and they're going to be like nothing anyone's ever seen before, and I'm super hyped for them. The whole goal of them is to get you to learn grammar in a way that's actually fun and effective, and that is broken down in like bite-sized chunks so you can actually get through it. And the last category that's probably going to take the most long time to get to is the more traditional course-based apps like Duolingo, like Babbel, like, you know, memorizing sentences, practicing those sentences or phrases, translating sentences. That's something that's currently not in the app. It's something that we want to include eventually, but it's not there yet. But that kind of goes to my next point, which is resources. What other resources can you use alongside Fluyo? At least initially, anything that's course-based or audio-based. We don't have audio courses for your language, so that could be like a Pimsleur or that can be like a Duolingo. Alongside Fluyo is really going to complete everything, but eventually we hope to have it all kind of in one place. So with all that being said, I wanted to answer the question, can language learning apps make you fluent? Currently, no, not really. There is not one language learning app that can make you go from not knowing anything to complete fluency. No, it doesn't exist. Until now. Well, not until now, but maybe until a few years, because Fluyo's ultimate goal is to be that language learning app. Now, you're never ever going to learn the language completely through an app. You'll need to watch Netflix and TV shows and talk to people. But in the future, if we could create an app that really masters these 4 different elements, these 4 different categories. So in the future, if someone can just be told like, oh, you want to learn a new language? Okay, well, watch some TV shows, speak to a tutor, and use Fluyo. That's crazy. Imagine a future where it's like anyone who wants to learn a new language, all they're told to do is use Fluyo, watch TV, and talk to a tutor. And perhaps maybe even we'll have tutors on Fluyo. So literally it'd be like, use Fluyo, watch TV shows, and boom, that's it. I know it sounds crazy, but that is the future that we are trying to build towards together with you guys. We want to be the first app to put that all in one piece. Now, if you want to try out Fluyo to get early access, you still have a little bit of time. This video came out much later than I hoped it would, but our Kickstarter campaign is literally ending in like 48 hours, and I would highly recommend you to check it out and for you to become a backer, because if you don't, you might not be able to try out Fluyo until 2024, essentially next year when we launch. However, if you back our campaign now, you can get early access for the summer, as well as tons of Kickstarter exclusive in-game items, merchandise, and discounts. So yeah, please back the campaign. Literally only 48 hours left. We're really hoping that we can reach 1 million. I know that we can do it. I know that we can reach 1 million and add the Korean and all of our other tantalizing stretch goals, and just let's do it. And if you do happen to watch this video after our campaign is over, fret not, just sign up for our newsletter at fluyoapp.com and stay up to date for anything else that might pop up. Thanks so much for watching, and you know, there's only so many things that someone can do to learn a language. Learning grammar, learning useful vocab, learning specialized vocab, learning how to read, learning how to build your own sentences. Like, not that Fluyo is going to completely change the way that we humans learn languages. It's more that we're going to try to take everything that someone needs to do to learn a language, put it all in one place, and make it more fun and more effective than it's ever been done before. That, I think, more so than our cool designs and more so than any kind of hyped features, is what our strong suit is going to be. I can't wait to get to that future. Take care, guys.